Welcome to Unstoppable Daily. We're in a space where we are worshiping and learning more about God's unstoppable vision for our church. Thank you so much for your generosity. Our primary goal is 100% participation with Unstoppable. To learn more about partnering with us, go to compass.church/give. Now, let's worship together.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Unstoppable Daily. Before we worship together, I want you to just take a minute this morning and think about good things in life. For me, when I think about that, I'm a weather guy, so it's sitting in my backyard when the weather is great and just taking in the beauty of creation. Maybe for you, it's time with your family. Maybe it's a vacation or a trip. What are the good things in life? And then I want to encourage you as we worship together this morning to put those next to God and how great and how amazing and how beautiful and powerful He is. So let's just begin to do that. Begin to think about what are the good things in life. And then as we sing this song, I want to encourage you to believe these words. There's nothing better than you.
I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. And man's empty praise and treasures of faith are never enough. And you came along and put me back together. Every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. There's nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley. There's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing that's better than you. There's nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing that's better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. Yeah. You turn mourning to dancing, yes. You get beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing, yes. You give beauty for ashes. Oh, you turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing that's better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than that's better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you, yeah. You turn mourning to dancing, you turn shame into glory. You get beauty for ashes. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing. You get beauty for ashes. Yes, Lord. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. Yes. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We're so glad to see you here on Unstoppable Daily. My name is Rob Maupin. I'm one of the pastors here at Compass Christian Church, and I'm here with my good friend Philip Kemp.
Yep.
Philip, tell us what you do here for Compass Christian Church.
So yeah, my name is Philip Kemp, and I'm the local outreach pastor. My passion is really to get people involved in the local community.
That's awesome. We are here today. We're so excited about what's going on with Unstoppable. Don't forget, make sure you keep a hold of your guidebook. Right? Make sure you bring that with you. Don't forget about Advanced Commitment Night on February 19th. And if you're available, tune in on Wednesdays at 7 for something called the Unstoppable Collective. If you haven't seen the first one, you can still catch up and be involved with the next ones. So we want to kind of do a little bit of a recap of the sermon that the teaching team did across all the campuses. I was at the Colleyville campus this week, and Drew's sermon was really powerful.
It's great.
Where do you guys normally go?
NRH.
Yep. So we know that they're all working off the same material. So we're really excited about what's going on through this sermon series. There's a couple of the things I had to write these down because I wanted to make sure and share them today. Drew said, "A great sermon isn't a collection of information; it's a call to action." I loved that.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I kind of default to, that's very helpful information, and I appreciate what he said about that.
Yeah. So I was at the NRH campus, and I was listening to Luke's sermon, and one of the most powerful things that he said to me is God always uses people who know Him to resource reaching others who don't know Him. And being in outreach, I get to see that firsthand. I get to see, missionaries from Compass going and reaching the areas that are least reached. We get to see people who don't even know about Jesus and who are most resistant to Jesus finally hear the gospel. And lastly, we get to see people who get the Bible in their own heart language who don't even have like a written language. And so amazing.
Yeah. It's really interesting to me about that whole concept. You were actually for a while a missionary yourself, right?
Right.
You and your family had to live off the resources that other people gave, right?
Yeah, we were with Pioneer Bible Translators, and we got to see God's miracles. Whenever people give, God just does amazing things.
Yeah. Another thing that Drew was talking about when people tend to band together or scatter when there's difficulties and things like that. And it's interesting. My background in academics and things like that, historically and like sociologically, all the social sciences prove that that's really true. But the church is the one place that is bringing people back into community that don't look like each other, don't talk like each other, don't come from the same side of the tracks. That relational community that the teaching team talked about, man, that's a real thing.
Yeah. One of the other things was they talked about the dangers of the pandemic, and they talked about two. The one I want to focus on is the temptation to just survive. And I felt that myself personally, to kind of huddle up, to stay at home, to do what's safe, not really go out. But those have some real ramifications. I remember I was doing an event at church at the Roanoke campus I had invited a volunteer to help me pass out boxes, and it was one of the first times that she had come back to church. And so I was explaining, what you do and stuff like that, and I see her friend just dart over and give her like the biggest hug, pull her away. They talk for like 20 minutes. I see them sobbing and praying, and she comes back over to me and says, "Philip, I needed to be back in church. Like, I needed my people around me." And it was just so heartwarming. It was affirmation that we need each other. We need to be praying for each other and loving each other.
You know, if you think about it, you might, as somebody who's part of Compass, you might think to yourself, will they ever stop talking about community groups? No. And here's why. We have seen, right? As pastors, we have watched what happens with people that are not in community. So for us, community groups, we're going to constantly be talking about that. We always want people to be finding ways to be together. We do that through all kinds of stuff, like Rooted, right?
Right. So I love Rooted. For me personally, I got in a group in 2019, and the thing is, I wanted to find my people, and I did. Like, we shared everything together. We shared foster care, we shared our problems, and they've really helped me like grow and be a better person. And I've seen that because I've been with Rooted ever since the beginning, and I've seen that story over and over and over, where people find their people, they grow, and they share and do life together.
Oh, it's the best. You know, even when we do mission trips, we don't do mission trips to like go just help other people that need it. We go with our partners who are our friends. They're part of our extended family. And we go to be with them and to get to know them and to bless them and for them to bless us. All of these things, what we're talking about, is about this thing about unstoppable community. When Drew goes through this whole thing, when our teaching team goes through these whole things, it's to the end of us having a pathway that when the world says be divided, we're going to say, no. Through unstoppable community, we get to be together. And then we get to go not just have our community, we get to go be in the community.
Right.
And that's amazing. What Compass is doing right now in our community is incredible. You can see our 4DFW initiative is still going on. We're helping at-risk seniors, right? We're helping groups like SOS. Who else are we helping right now?
We're helping fire, police departments. We're helping some of the special needs community. One of the things I'm really excited about is some of the deaf community. We're helping do deaf VBS for the kids, kind of really bonding that community. So those are things that are really exciting.
Yeah, and what's been interesting for me to watch is community groups and Rooted groups don't even do all the things that the church organizes. On their own, they just go serve and they're in the community. Listen, here's how I want to kind of wrap up what the teaching team said. When I was listening and when Drew was preaching, he made this one statement talking about the benefit of relational community. He makes this kind of ending comment that I was really, really touched by. He said, who wouldn't want to be a part of that, right? So one of the reasons we're encouraging everybody in every way that we can, especially on a morning like this, we want you to think in terms of being a part of our community, because who wouldn't want to be a part of that?
Yeah, and I want to challenge you today to be a part of this unstoppable community. Because, hey, we're not meant to do it on our own. Like, I know from experience. So make sure that you make that commitment today to be a part of a community.
Mm-hmm. Hey, thank you for joining us today. I know it's hard to understand and feel sometimes through a screen, but the truth is we love y'all, and we're really grateful that you're a part of our unstoppable community. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you were encouraged and motivated to keep going and being unstoppable. Join us next time for Unstoppable Daily.